Hello. The United Nations World Travel Organization has released a paper a few days ago when it comes to describe the global guidelines to restart tourism. It's a pretty long report, so I thought it could be a good idea to read it through and give you my main highlights. So if you go to the page 4, it shows a really grim scenario. So it presents three different scenarios. The most conservative, most optimistic, it shows that they expect that the industry will lose 58% of the business this year, and the most dramatic, it shows a drop of 78% in business. That means these numbers here, so around 100 million jobs at risk, losing almost $1 trillion in exports, and 1 billion less people traveling. That's what it means globally. We move to page 6, start with the priorities in tourism recovery. It shows the main points. So it's a relation between public and private sector, public helps, and cooperation between firms, financial support, etc. Moving into the different parts of the industry. So if you go to the air travel industry 1, page 14 of the study, and I'll attach the study with this post. You see the main point in here. The ones that come to my attention are these ones here, where it says that airlines should try to facilitate people not sitting next to each other. So basically advising to leave the middle seat empty, but for most airlines, it won't be viable because otherwise they wouldn't be profitable. So it's just a recommendation that is basically empty. And the next one there, I will highlight, it's the reduce the number of objects in the cabin, limit hand luggage, which can put strain on tourists or passengers of low-cost airlines, which tend to be the ones charging high prices for hand luggage. When it comes to the hospitality business, the report talks about contactless relations with the guests while they are in their destination, direct contact with them when it comes to SMS or emails, so they are aware of the local guidelines in terms of health and safety, and even goes into recommending ideas when it comes to product marketing, such as focusing on local staycation and other sort of packages. Also talks about alliances with health centers, for example, having an insurance that covers if guests get sick. And finally, the report also talks about attractions and theme parks, page 23 there, and it talks about obviously reduced capacity. So linking it to that point, there's an article here from the Los Angeles Times talking about the opening of the Disney Shanghai that opened at 30% capacity out of the 80,000 visitors that they can have a day, and the painful guidelines from the Chinese government that each customer have to make the booking in advance, and they need to present a QR code. Only if it's green they're allowed. So it's a bit of a process to be able to access the park. The American Disney is already opening very soon, early July, but also linking into the same points, an article for New York Times, and they don't mention what's the numbers. It's going to be the capacity for the park, but it also assuming that it will be at a reduced capacity. And now going back to the points of airline and hotel numbers that the report was mentioning, there is a Skift report article from a few days ago that it shows the deep drop in rates. So airlines have been dropping the domestic market in the US by 23%. And when it comes to hotels, the ones who remain open in the US have dropped by 50% in terms of occupancy, and the rates have dropped 40%. And the expectation, and this is really not very positive from STR, is that the rates will drop globally by 22% with an expected increase of 2% in 2021. So the net drop between 2019 and 2021, easy numbers, it's a 20% decrease in rates expected globally by STR. That's all from me for now, and you have more information on my website and podcast and YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye.